Well, this game went final with 2 minutes and 1 second left in the first overtime. Gavin Best awarded a penalty shot. Red Knight defenseman lost his stick, got his hand inside on him. And it's one of those calls. It's gutty as an official, Jerry Burrow. Do you call or don't you call that? And he did, and it was a penalty shot, and it can go either way, but Best made a terrific forehand move and put that one home for the 4-3 win in overtime. It was unbelievable.
Well, yeah, 30 years of watching playoff hockey, section play, I've never seen a game end with a penalty shot. And so I don't know what to say.
So when we go back in the history and the annals, has there been a game decided in overtime? I know we've had penalty shots in overtime, but has one gone to the state tournament off that?
I can't remember a game. Have you?
No.
I mean, hats off to Blake, but holy cow, that's not. I don't know. That's just a weird way to end the game.
It's like, to me, I'll be honest with you, it's part of the game. You get penalty shots. It's how it goes. And if you earn it, you earn it. But it's like deciding a soccer game on kicks. I just, it's a little bit different, but credit the Blake Bears. They hung in there. They had some really good chances and were putting some heat on the Red Knights, who seemed to be getting tighter and tighter, I felt, as the overtime session was carrying on.
I can't believe how, the first line for Blake, they've been out there all night. And when you're saying 1-2, 1-2 for a lot of times, then they went 1-2-3. But when they were out there, that first line, they were out there long shifts too. And they didn't look gassed at all.
It was really kind of remarkable. Yeah. Their conditioning, and I think they played a lot throughout the season. That's kind of what they were about. So they worked together as a group, did the job. Got to congratulate them. Their first trip to the state tournament since 2008, when they had 3 in a row in the Class A. Right. So since they jumped up, 3-4 years ago to the AA, they break through here in the very difficult Section 6 AA.
And you got to give credit to Benil. They came out and it just was a great game for hockey fans. And to see top players at their elite performances going after each other, you can't find anything better than section finals in high school hockey.
Something really, really cool happened at the end of that hockey game after Carson Limesand was scored on as the big Hoggy and Selly was going down off to his left on the corner. Axel Reed had the mask off and the gloves off, and he was going to go jump into them. He stopped and changed his route right over to Carson Limesand, stood there and hugged him for a second. Certainly they probably know each other and have worked out a lot together. But to not put his own celebration before that was really something.
That's good.
It's something I'll never forget. That's what it's about right there.
It's just good to see kids do that kind of stuff, and both of them will never forget that, Hey, those two will probably be friends forever because of that little thing. Little things matter.
They do. And, if you read the article that I wrote about Ken Pauley and Lee Smith with their 500th wins each this year, the one thing that they both talked about, especially Ken, was, he says, everybody always asks you which was the greatest win. He goes, you don't really think about those, not even the championships. But he said it's these section games that matter the most. And it's the section games that you remember, but it's the section losses that are the worst.
How do you get there?
He said, getting there, he goes, you get to the state tournament, anything can happen. You just throw it up there and hope you can win 3 games. But he said it's the gut-wrenching losses such as this that are the ones that make the biggest impact on you as a coach, and you don't forget. I am certain if he made a list, this would have to be among one of the toughest for him. And for Rob McClanahan, wow. How could you forget a win like that?
I was thinking of that just now, a miracle on ice, Here he is coaching the team, and those kids probably are thinking the same thing. To be in that situation, to win a game, this is like their miracle on ice.
Well, I looked down at Rob after the win, and he just sort of looked back at his coaching staff, put his hands up in the air like, well, here we go, and he's a cool customer. Yeah. He knows exactly what he's doing, and you know what? He's coached up this team really well. I got to tip the cap to Greg Boom May, who got this thing started, though, with this group of players. He came up and did a great job. I think he was an assistant at the time at Burnsville. And then he came over here to Blake and did a terrific job. Now works at the University of Minnesota. One of the true good guys in high school sports, no question. So, but I felt we needed to do this before I go down and get the coach reactions because it was something else.
Right. Hey, high school hockey at this level, section finals, it's just hard to get there to the section finals and to play this high tempo of the game. And you hate to see a team lose, but it happens. And congratulate.
Well, I can tell you who is happy to see a team lost was Eden Prairie and Chaska as they're starting to rot in the gears, saying, okay, let's go.
We don't want to wait.
Well, 2:01 showing on the clock, and the salmon filled up with water and was ready to roll.
And my friend Dave, he wants to get home and take a nap before he goes to bed.
He should be taking a nap on his way home, I'll tell you that much. Well, that's going to recap this one. And, Chaska and Eden Prairie's coming up. We'll have more of this stuff coming from the press box. Thanks for jumping in with us, Jerry.
All right. Next game.
Minnesota Hockey Connections, Jerry Burrow. Yours truly, Pete Wagner from the MNHockey.tv. Final score, the Blake Bears 4, the Middle St. Margaret's Red Knights 3. We'll have more coverage coming up throughout the evening here from Mariucci Arena. You want to lead it off, Dave?
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
What were you going through with that? Everyone wants a moment like that. What's it like to be in one?
I don't know. It was awesome. My teammates were telling me to just breathe. I got back on the blue line, took a breath. My legs were shaking. I just kind of took it all in for a second. And then, like Coach always says, you're going on a breakaway, have a move in the back of your head and know what you're going to do. If he gives it to you, take it. If he doesn't, take what he gives you. But, I had a move going in, saw it, and it worked out.
Is that a move that you've used before?
Yeah, it's a move. Yeah, I've used it before. I don't know. It's pretty simple. Like with the bad ice, I wanted to do something that wasn't overhandling the puck too much, and just make sure I hit the net, make sure I got it on net. So it's pretty safe move in that sense. But yeah, it was unbelievable. Saw the puck in the back of the net and just went crazy.
Was that a coaching piece of advice about the bad ice, or did you realize that?
I realized it.
Okay.
I did have a couple teammates remind me, just said, hey, bad ice. But I realized it once I got the penalty shot. I was trying to take all that in. And then, like I said, just considering all the factors, I just wanted to go to move that I wasn't going to overhandle the puck or anything and made sure I got it on net.
Has it sunk in yet?
A little bit, but I don't think so. I think later tonight it will sink in a little bit. Some of the coaches are telling me that's going to be a moment I'll remember for the rest of my life. And, thinking about that gives me chills a little bit. But I don't think it's sunk in fully yet.
Can you talk about that? That game looked like a little bit of a war, like a lot of ebbs and flows back and forth between you two guys. What was it like down there?
Yeah, they're a great team. Going into the season, we envisioned playing them in this game. We knew it was going to be a battle. And like I said, we were tired. It's a big sheet of ice. So I know both teams had to adapt to that. You could definitely tell we were tired, but we've done a lot of skating this year for moments like that. So when you hit that overtime in that third period, that's what coach is telling us. This is what we skate for, and got the boys pretty fired up.
Rob comes in obviously to coach. Boom is obviously a popular figure with you guys. Can you talk a little bit about your coach and what he's meant to you guys?
Yeah, Boom and Rob have both meant a lot to me. Obviously, started playing hockey with Boom. At Blake, started playing under Boom, and he was always great. Just an unbelievable coach. And then Rob stepping in this year with the same coaching staff, and it's been great as well. It's just pretty seamless, and couldn't have asked for a better group of guys to lead us for sure.
Enjoy the week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate
it.
Thank you.
How about state now?
I'm not sure. Has a game ever been decided in a section final?
We're trying to figure it out. I don't think so. There have been shots, but not decided.
He was in clean, and he got hauled down. So it's hard to argue that. I get it, but Ken will probably argue you don't want a game determined by that, but that was pretty flagrant.
To step away from the penalty shot for a second, your team managed to block, 25 or 30 shots tonight. Is that something you take a lot of pride in during practice?
We've talked about it since Greg May coached last year or 3 years ago. We've talked about it every day. That a block shot is as big as anything, and it gets the team jazzed up. It's about playing defense. One of the things I tell the fellas is our best offense is defense. And it's not that I'm defensive oriented, it's just that if you can take care of your own end, you're gonna get your chances. especially with our team speed.
What do you do or not do in that moment for Gavin? Because his head's already spinning. Did you try to less is more?
You dumb it down. Here's what you do. On a penalty shot, you got to have an idea. You have to have a go-to shot or a go-to move. You have to. You have to have an idea of what you're going to do. I told him the ice is bad. I told him historically his glove has been weak. So he listened to me on 2 out of 3.
That's not bad.
But he had an idea. You could tell he executed it flawlessly.
So let's talk about you for a second. Obviously, I don't know if you thought you'd be standing here last year at this time. You're coaching this team and you're going to the state tournament. Can you kind of take us through that whole round of what's gone on in your mind with all this, and here we are?
Well, 6 months ago, I didn't envision being a head coach. But, opportunities come and go, and Greg May took an opportunity at the U, and he's done a nice job. I love the guy. I had to think about taking this job, and when I sat down with Nick Rathman, it was truly an interim position, and I told him exactly that I would do it for a year, and that I wanted to have a significant say in who we were going to hire for the coming years. And then it's all coaching stuff, you know that. And as the season progressed, the real key to me coaching and staying is my assistant coaches. I've got a great group of assistants who love these guys, and they're good at their job. We all know our roles. I am not a dictator in any way, shape, or form, and I am open to any and all ideas. I may not agree with them all, but it's not only a team of players, it's a team of coaches, and they make it much easier for me.
So, okay, go ahead.
When the interim tag was removed, you can go to Nick and say that what you changed as far as you said, maybe I'll do it for a year. What changed that you said, this is something I'd like to stay with for a while?
Oh, how do I answer that? Sorry to.
It's not live TV. We're fine.
These kids are special. They played together a long time, and so my daughter played at Blake. I'm a public school kid, but the Blake hockey program was in the dumpers for a while, to nobody's fault, and I'm not pointing fingers at anything, but I was on the committee that hired Greg May, and to see the program turn around, it's a big deal. I am a huge believer in academics first, and to me, Blake is not for everybody, but Blake is a rigorously academic school first, and if you can tie that into sports, you have an opportunity in life, assuming that these kids take advantage of it. I know I'm being long-winded. So I realized that I'm actually okay at it. I like it, and my assistant coaches make it enjoyable.
What more can you say? Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry about being so long.
Can I ask you one more question, Rob?
Yeah.
I just thought of this. Sure. Gavin talked about skating a lot, and it was, the extra 15 feet, all of it. But they never really seemed to fully fatigue the way you think they would. How much of that did you put into the season, as far as not skating as a punishment, but skating for conditioning?
From day one.
Yeah.
We skated them hard all year. Now, could they skate harder? Sure. And I tell you what, conditioning drives everything. Mm-hmm. I don't care how good you are or how bad you are. If you're not in shape, you're not. It's not about the first period. You know that. It's not about the first period. It's about the third period. And even though Benilde had some really good chances, I felt that we, for the most part, controlled the game. Mm-hmm. We had more shots, but we had more quality chances. Conditioning plays a significant role in that. And I know that because I lived it.
Right. Exactly. And there are a lot of you guys that have coached and come through that and have blessed these kids with that. I've observed it, talked about it, been a part of it, and it really is true. And you can say oftentimes that, don't worry, you'll understand when this matters. And they know right now, don't they?
I told them at the beginning, when we skated the first time and they're getting their tails kicked, this is for the third period, this is for right now. It's not for the first period. It's not for December. It's for right now. You don't want to peak in December. You don't want to peak in January. You want to peak right now. And it's hard, and nobody wants to do it, but you just have to. If you want to be successful, you got to pay the price. That's a price to pay. Now, we didn't kick their tails as much as Herbie did ours, but it's a different deal. We've been in good enough shape all year long to be able to control our own destiny.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.